there's two things really that people feel like when they're in business, they're going to do like mainly two things when they start when they start a business. Number one is a website. Number two is business cards. Now, I always like to give people two perspectives. One is physical perspective, one is digital perspective. Now, if I was today, I do not have business cards for Portugal or the United States. I don't. I have a virtual business card, and I will show you a resource for that in just a few minutes that you can apply into your life or what you can do for that matter. However, for example, in Uganda, I don't have them with me. They're actually in my travel bag. I do have business cards for Uganda for my speaking and consulting that I do in Uganda. So I do have business cards. Now, why do I have that? Now, I just got them recently, probably within the past 4 years, and it was really uncomfortable for me because I was like, I don't have business cards. I don't want to go back to having business cards. But now I have to understand my customer, my client. You have to understand your audience and your customers. So my customers, if I didn't have a business card, there was two things in Uganda that you must have. Like, it's just, if you don't, then people start wondering like, is this person a fraud? Right? And that's two things. Number one is a business card. Number two is an office. It's a must, because people in Uganda like to see where your office is, because if you don't have an office or a workshop or some type of location, then maybe you're just like a fly-by-night salesman taking people's money. Does that make sense? So that's really important. So yes, I have a physical office in Uganda, and also I have business cards. Okay, so that's really important to my marketplace. Okay, so now I am going to share a little bit about this, because if you're in the United States and you're working more one-on-one with people, maybe you do, well, obviously with COVID right now, right? So this might be a good time of transition for you, because if you're not going to meet with people face to face, but if you are, of course, like, think about it. If you meet with a seller or if you meet with a buyer, or if you meet a business partner, you're going to want some form of exchange of that information. Okay, so business cards are a cheap way, and that's how I got started with my business cards. Actually, I should have shared a picture of my first business cards with you here. Actually, you know what? My business card looked very simple. It was bright green. Okay, it was bright green in color. And on the front of it, it had, as you can see right here, yellow, green, pink, right? And it had the front of the card, it said, "We buy houses, and we buy for cash, and we can close quickly." On the back of the card, it would say a list of types of property that you buy, what services you offer, and call now. Everyone needs a call to action. So you need some type of call to action. I want to show you, this is really important, by the way. I know we're talking business cards, but this is very important even for your website, brochure, flyer, however you're doing it, physical or digital. This is really important. A list of the type of properties that you buy. Okay, that's really important. So it's the what. Then the type of services that you offer. What do you offer? What kind of problems are you solving, right? What problems are you solving? Next, how you solve their problem. Now, you're probably thinking, well, what is their problem? I thought I was in real estate. Right, you are in real estate. But as you're buying property, someone that you're buying it from has a problem with the real estate. They may have a problem of taxes, foreclosure or pre-foreclosure. They may have a problem with probate. They may have an issue with divorce, financial issues. I mean, we could stack up a whole list, and there's actually a list in this training program and that we provide. And so those issues that people have, you're there to solve their problem. Okay. And I don't mean that like, you know, as a business person, right? You're not going to mend someone's divorce if they're getting divorced, right? You're not Jesus bringing people back up from the dead, right? If they're in probate. But you get my point here, is that you're there to solve someone's problem. And the more you think about your client's problem, your customer / seller, okay, the more you think about their problem and how you can help them, the better you can word your material, whether it's a business card, a website, a landing page, whatever it may be, physically or digitally. that you can cater to them. Even if you're doing direct mail to them, you can put the right letter together for their specific needs. More on marketing in the future, but we cover a lot of marketing also in our training programs, and also especially in our coaching program where we work with you one-on-one. We actually go over line by line your marketing material. That's really important so you can get the highest conversions. And then everybody needs a call to action. It's either call now, take action now, do something. You have to lead them and tell them what to do. Customers are looking for a solution, right? So, but you also have to direct them, because they're like, well, what's the next step? If you don't give them the next step, they're kind of just like wondering, well, what happens now, right? So you have to guide people. When people are in problems, guess what they're only thinking about? Their problems, right? So you have to guide them into the solution, okay? So that's called a call to action. And one of the things what you'd want to do is a goal would be to pass out business cards. Okay. Now, listen, I understand a lot has gone virtual, especially more than ever. I'm going to show you a solution to that right now. However, if you are still a physical type of person and you do go out and meet people and you do go to a meetup group, so like meetup.com, you can meet a lot of real estate investment groups on meetup.com. And if you're interacting, or maybe you're at a local Starbucks, or you're, wherever, you're out at a cafe and you're having a conversation, you want to be able to either pass a physical or digital business card. Okay. So I'm going to show you a solution right now that's going to help you, do a virtual business card. Okay. And that is with a service like this one, which is called Switch It, or switchitapp.com. Okay. Switchitapp.com. And you can actually go look this up on the Google Play Store, the App Store, the Apple App Store. And I want to show you how it works. But this is a company that I used to use. By the way, I don't use this service anymore. But if I'm going to recommend something, I want to make sure I've used it. And I've used Switch It before, just about 4 years ago, when I stopped using virtual business cards, because I use more of email marketing as an introduction. And we can talk about more of that in the future. But email marketing is my business card. I also have a business page, an About Me page, that is basically like an online page of a business card, right? So you have to understand how you're going to interact with your clients and what you're going to do, how you're going to capture their information. Guys, I want to give you a secret that most people don't realize or understand. I'm going to first tell you a story. I was in California, San Francisco. I was in San Francisco at an event, and it was a conference on how to raise private money for real estate. And I spoke for 2 hours about raising money, because guys, I don't know if you know this, but I've raised a bunch of money, millions and millions of dollars for real estate transactions. As I was at this event, I was standing there and there was a bunch of people coming up to me and talking to me and asking me questions. So after I was done speaking and we were on break and all this stuff, all of a sudden, I'm not kidding you, this man comes in out of nowhere, and all he does is walks like in our circle. There was about 8 of us in this circle, and all of a sudden this guy walks in and he just starts passing out his business card and walks away. I was like, what are you doing? So I literally called him back. I was like, excuse me, sir, like, can you come here? And because I took his card and I looked at it and it said real estate photography services, whatever, all his contact information, whatever. And I said, sir, listen, I appreciate you, being prepared. I appreciate I did the sandwich. Do you guys know what the sandwich is? The sandwich, you give a compliment, then the meat, you give them the problem, and then you give them another sandwich, right? And another piece of bread. It's called the sandwich, right? So first you compliment someone, which I complimented him first. And I said, sir, I appreciate that you came prepared to this meeting. Then I gave him the meat, what I really want to communicate here, and tell him what I didn't like about the situation. But sir, you don't know any of us or our problems. We don't even know if we have a real estate issue. And plus, if you just came in here, passed a card, and walked away, how do you think we feel about you? We didn't build a personal connection. And I said, and then I gave him the other bread, the other part of the sandwich, right? The bottom bun. And I said, sir, a better way to approach is at least introduce yourself, because I bet you have a very pleasing personality. I would like to know how long you've been in photography. That's what I told him. So I gave him the sandwich. And you always want to give people a sandwich when you're trying to fix or make a direct comment that's an issue, or let's call it constructive criticism, okay? So you always want to give someone a sandwich. All right, where was I? So he comes in the group and all that, and that's what I told him. I gave him the sandwich. He goes on his way, and he was like, oh, okay, yeah, sorry, I didn't want to be rude and interrupt. That's what he said. I said, well, you were rude and interrupted, and we all felt that way. Anyway, the guy just kind of excuses, I'm sorry, and walks away. And then I remember there was this woman across the circle, and she said, how rude was that? And literally one guy turned around and threw his card in the trash, and everybody else started laughing. And I was like, yeah, that's what you get for not making a good intro. Another time, I was training a sales team, about 20 people, salespeople in, where was that? Oh, it was in Massachusetts, 20 salespeople, and literally we're in this office, but the office building had many other offices, okay? And we're in the middle of a training, and I'm standing next to the door, and that door leads to a hallway. All of a sudden, while I'm talking, I hear a little like, that's all I hear. And I look down, and I see a business card on the floor. A business card on the floor. So I pick it up. It's some guy selling insurance. So I open the door. I said, excuse me. I didn't see anyone in the hall. I was like, hello, excuse me, insurance, Gerald. I'm reading the guy's card out loud in the hallway. He comes back. He's like, oh, hello, how are you? Blah, blah, blah. And I said, sir, you're Gerald, right? And he's like, yeah. He's like, Gerald. I said, man, why don't knock on the door? Right? And let me tell you, I did not deliver the sandwich in this conversation because I was really frustrated. I was like, why would you slip a business card under the door? Like, how low, as in the carpet, is that? But he says, oh, I heard you talking. I don't want to disturb you, or I wasn't sure, And I said, sir, I'm literally, you put your business card on the ground. People walk on the ground. Is this what you are worth? Right? And would I want to do business with someone who puts their name on the ground? I said, this card is either going to stay on the ground or get tossed in the garbage. Because if you think it's only worth being on the ground, and literally this guy was going in this entire building and just throwing his business card underneath doors. That's what he was doing. He was like, whatever. He wasn't even knocking on doors. He was just sliding the cards underneath the doors. Kind of like those people who go and put those ads on the flyers on cars. He was doing the same thing, going into office parks and sliding cards under. Like, really? Is that how you're going to get business? Not a good way. So I addressed that with him, and he ended up saying, oh, so what do you do here? We ended up having like a 10-minute conversation, and I backed off because I was a little like, really, dude? But a bunch of salespeople came over and they said, hey man, you should try this approach. They were actually coaching him on what to do on some of the sales skills, and gave him some tips and pointers. And he was like, wow, you guys seem like you really know what you're doing. What do you sell here and how do you do it? And they're like, yeah, and you should learn from this guy. He's our trainer, right? And I was like, I was being quiet, just listening. So anyway, you really don't want to have that kind of approach. And that's with paper business cards. You don't want to just, here's the thing. Don't be a business card pusher, be a business card collector, okay? Even if you have a stack of business cards, don't go to a meeting or a networking group or anything like that and be there to push out your business cards. Like, oh yeah, I gave out 20 business cards today. No. You don't want to be the one giving out the business cards. You want to be the one getting the business cards. Does that make sense? You want to get information. You want to collect data and receive data. That's what you want to do. You don't want to be the one just, oh, I have all these business cards. I remember when I would do a lot of in-the-field mentorships, I used to fly out to, not used to, I mean, I still do when I can. Not because of COVID right now, but when I've done this a lot in the past. I used to go out every month. My clients would fly me out. I'd go to their backyard real estate, go into their homes or their local office, and I'd coach them one-on-one. And one of the things they pretty much always pulled out, I said, bring me all the business cards that you have from networking and meetings or anything like that. I always get the shoebox. I always get the shoebox or the Rolodex that's unorganized, full of business cards from all the times they've gone to their local real estate investment association meeting or wherever, every seminar they've gone to, and none of the cards are organized. They're just everywhere, right? And so what I do with them, and you can use this as a tip, is I would say, okay, let's look at who is this person, right? And I'd sift and sort every business card with them. Okay, who's this person? Oh, they're a cash buyer. Okay, put that over there. Who's this? Private money lender? Put them there. And I put them, and we put them all in order, and we organize it, and then we take all those and we put them in a digital database. So I got an app that we were able to take pictures of all their business cards, and it automatically uploads into the cloud, and it automatically tags all those people, and it organizes that app right into their phone, and voila, they had their list digitally, okay? And sometimes what I didn't do it all for them. I'd show them like 5 of them, and then I gave them that as homework, by the way. I wasn't there just sitting there organizing people's business cards. But I gave them that responsibility so that they can learn how to manage and build and organize their own list for their real estate. That's really important. So in regards to business cards, you want to be not the person pushing business cards on people. You want to be gathering business cards, and then you want to be able to scan that business card, and then it goes right up into the cloud. I'm going to show you 2 tools that are going to help you do this, not only for the pushing of the business card, but also for the pulling, the receiving of the business card, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you my screen, and I'm going to show you one service that I used to use. I think I showed you that already, right? It's called Switch It, okay? This is for sharing your business card, for the push, right? You share someone your business card, okay? So it's different pricing depending on what you're doing, okay? They have them free, they have a monthly, and they have an annually. You choose the plan. If you want to test them out, just try it out for free. Some of the most powerful things is they have a 90-second video, and I'll show you that example here in just a second. They have a business card scanner, which goes into your CRM. CRM stands for Customer Relationship Management Software. Now, the only down part about this, though, is their contacts only sync into HubSpot and Salesforce, okay? Which is only 2 CRMs. I'm hoping that they expand to more, but that's what they have right now. Custom branding, file attachments, and multiple phone numbers and URLs. I'm going to show you a real estate example of Natalie here. I'm going to show you Natalie's profile, and you're going to see how she does it and what a profile would look like. Notice how there's a video there. You can put a 90-second video. Shows that Natalie's a realtor, right? Shows save my contact details, download my property flyer, gives her address here, her phone number, her email, website, and contact information, all within the app. Okay. So that's an example of what this app can do for someone. All right, that's an example of what Switch It would do. That's if you want to push, and you can share your business card with just a link also. So you can literally just put it in the signature of an email or whatever you want to do and how you want to share it. You can share it with someone right there. You can send it in a text message, an email. You could share it with someone right in front of you instead of maybe passing out a business card. That's how to make your business card virtual. Okay, now I want to show you a resource that I absolutely love and I still use to this day, and it's called Contacts Plus. Okay, Contacts Plus is a free and there's a paid version. I use the paid version. And what this does, this used to be an app called Full Contact, and by the way, since then they've changed the name, and you guys have probably seen me do videos or trainings on this before, because this is contact management software with AI behind it, artificial intelligence. But also, if you have multiple emails, I have quite a few businesses, and those businesses all have company emails. And one of the things I love about this software is it merges the contacts from all the different emails and company emails, and it brings it into one app, and it doesn't mix or sort them. It separates them and it segments each contacts for that particular company. In addition to, it also gives resources on tagging, features of tagging. So you can sync all your accounts, even if you have like multiple Gmail accounts or an Apple account or a Microsoft account, whatever accounts you have, whatever contacts you have. I hope you do not have a Yahoo account at the end of the day. I don't know if you know this, but Yahoo has been broken into more times than I was gonna name off some kind of bank, but Yahoo's been broken into by hackers like so many times. They're like so easy to get into. They're always having vulnerability issues. One of the most powerful things that this software does, Contacts Plus, is with the AI, it actually searches. It takes your contacts information, the email that you have, the phone number, whatever, and it searches for it online. It's like it does this automatically without you doing anything. And it starts pulling in their Facebook profile, their Twitter, whatever, anything social, anything public record. It starts pulling it in and matching with your record. Here's the beautiful part. When one of your contacts updates their profile or updates their public record, right? Even if they have like, they're a lawyer and they change their number, or if they're a real estate agent and they change their number, title company, they change their email, Contact Plus automatically updates it for you. You don't have to go say, oh, you have a new phone number, you have a new email. No. This does it automatically for you. And I love that about it. Sometimes I'll be emailing someone and all of a sudden they'll say, oh, the Contacts Plus will notify me and say, hey, this email has changed. This is their new email. Boom, I never have to call someone and say, hey, text them and say, hey, do you have a new email? You know, the email bounced back. Oh yeah, I have a new email. No. Contacts Plus already does it for you. They already go into the marketplace and they pull all this data. It's so great. So it does stay up to date automatically. Also helps you eliminate duplicates. Love this because sometimes you can have multiple people all jammed up in there, and it helps you do that. Gives you a nice desktop profile if you like to use your contacts on a desktop. It gives you that, but also it has the app, and the app gives you also the opportunity to scan business cards. And what I love about this feature is I can scan business cards in the United States, in Portugal, and in Uganda. And even if the telephones are different, right? Telephone number extensions are different, or the words are in Portuguese. What I love about it is they use artificial intelligence to scan these cards and import it, and they put it all in the right fields. However, what they also have is assistants that help edit and make sure it's correct. So it's actually AI plus human in case like I'm in a different country. And I've never had, especially like using capturing business cards in Portugal or in Uganda, I've never had a business card come out wrong after AI and their team has gone through it. It's awesome. I love that part. And also another thing too is when you're uploading a contact or a business card, you can tag it. You can add a tag. That's very important in real estate. You want to tag your cash buyers, your attorneys, your title companies, your bankers. Guys, if you were to see my profile, you'd see like over 80 tags. I have over 80 tags. I have some for, you know, bankers in Portugal, bankers in Uganda, have private money lenders, hard money lenders, and they're all tagged so I can easily search for them. You can also use a really great tool called Zapier. By the way, if you don't know what Zapier is, there's a video on our YouTube. You can check that out and learn how to use Zapier. I'm actually doing an upcoming training on this for our members, our Fearless Millionaire family members. And I'm going to show them how to use Zapier in a much more powerful way to help them automate their business. It's like having an assistant without the human. It's like an automated assistant that does these little tasks for you. It's really powerful. So that's a really great thing. There's a whole bunch more of integrations and all that. There's also birthday reminders, email signature extraction, call blocking and identification, notes and tags like I talked about earlier, secure and store and backup. And I'll give you the pricing of it. You guys know I like to share that with you. So there's $0, a free account, and you can sync up to one account with 1,000 contacts, and you can scan up to 5 business cards a month. Then there's the premium, five email accounts, 25,000 contacts, and 1,000 business cards a month. So it all depends on, you can pay yearly or pay monthly. So if you pay yearly, it's literally like $8 a month. Literally one of the best contact apps that I need. I can't live without this app because it literally saves me so much time and headache. Because my biggest problem, my biggest frustration years ago was literally trying to organize all my different contacts from my different companies. And sometimes it would get mixed up and I'd have to go into one address book and then jump over into the other address book, and it was all over the place. Thank God for Contact Plus because they really have saved my hiney.